I'm William Green, William Wallace Green. I'm the owner of Bravehearts Brewery.
Okay. When did you start Bravehearts?
I started Bravehearts in 2012. Had a very dear friend of mine, Madeline Martinez, and she recognized that the industry was going in a different direction, and it was time for growers like myself to come out and let people know who we were and start building a name for ourselves. And to this day, I thank her for giving me that advice, and I hold it dear to my heart.
Your fire a little bit?
She did. She really started my fire.
That's awesome. Now, is this when she had the cafe?
Yeah, the cafe. Yep, one of the very first cafes. And
one of the first cups.
And first, she used to run the Oregon Medical Cannabis Awards.
Right.
I won most potent strain in 2013 with Starkiller OG.
Nice.
And yes, Madeline, she's very influential into what I do.
Yeah. And it's interesting because I didn't really give you much opportunity to win cups because we wanted you as a judge.
Yeah.
But you won.
I have one.
You have one.
Exactly. I have won Oregon Growers Cup with Sunday Driver.
Right. And then you also won a High Times Cup, right?
Yes. Back in 2014, I was still just a medical grower, and I decided, I honed in my skills pretty well. It was a time in my life where I was studying my growing process, like pretty diligently. And I was pretty confident. And, it was one of my dreams to have a United States Cannabis Cup.
Wow.
So in 2014, I decided as a medical grower to go up to Seattle, Washington and compete against the $1 Million Grows from Washington, Colorado, California. And, I really didn't think I was going to win, but I was hoping at least third place. And when they announced third place, I was like, oh, I didn't win, and I started getting ready to go. And when they announced my name, I was pretty shocked, and I was proud to bring that trophy home to Oregon.
Dude,
for the Oregon people and growers.
Yeah, well, see, that's crazy to me because we don't let, ours are state specific. We wouldn't have let you do that. But that's amazing that you went up. And like I said, I've always felt that you would have won more of our cups if you were a judge all the time.
Yes.
But because you do, it's obviously you're doing the top shelf stuff, so that's awesome. Now, you have kind of also too, before we get into these questions, do you have kind of a passion for genetics, or where would you say, what's your vibe on that?
Oh, I love every strain. Every strain has a purpose. Every seed is different. I love cannabis, period. But without the different genetics, it would be just boring.
Right.
But I am a big OG Kush fan. And I do love those pinene and limonene and but at the chems, I really have a passion for some of the fruitier stuff too, as long as they have a little bit of funk along with it.
Yeah.
But
yeah. All right, well let's get into the hard questions here. It's funny, I'm holding your paper like it's what I'm reading. So what does the word legacy mean to you?
Legacy. This is a subject I hold really dear to my heart. Legacy is a time when roots were strong, ran deep. It was a time when growers and growers' families, put their lives at risk. They lived discreetly, and to keep the plant alive so that we could smoke, so that people could have their medicine, but it was a time before medical. It was a time before legalization, and it was a time when there was a lot of heritage, and these elders that these elder growers that we had a lot of respect for, and they passed down a lot of their teachings to us, and it's very important for me to hold their values, their morals, their passions, their integrity, to this day.
What is your legacy in the cannabis
My legacy, I'm still working on it. I'm not done yet. I'm close to 50 years old. I want to at least go another 15, 20 years, But I will say my legacy is to teach those traditions that our elders gave us, that gave me, in a market today where it's fastly being lost. It's important for me in my legacy to continue teaching craft cannabis and the arts of craft cannabis.
Nice. Love it. How has cannabis affected your personal ethics?
Cannabis has made me who I am. I believe in, hard work, integrity, passion, if you were brought up that way with the craft cannabis and the elders and believing in those, the code, you were taught to do well, you were taught to do good, you had to keep your mouth shut. You put the plant people first, you don't talk, you show respect, I kept my houses clean, my yard's clean, because I didn't want to draw attention to myself.
Last little tidbit on the ethics part, what ethics are important to you as far as the production of cannabis?
I believe in keeping cannabis true to its form, and when I say that, I mean, I hear a lot of people using these spray terps, chemical spray terps. Spray terps are not allowed, I just feel like keep it as true to its form as possible. They're going to try to change it. They already are, pharmaceutical wise, as far as making a spray or pill, but they need to keep the hash. They need to keep the flower, they need to keep those traditions where it's at. Yeah. Yes, I believe in that big time.
Yeah. So as far as growth, describe your not just your business growth, but your personal growth and how cannabis has affected who William is.
I'll tell you what, the last few years I've learned a lot about myself, Nathan. I felt that I have learned that I'm a strong businessman. I've learned that, being in this market as a traditional grower, dealing with big business, I've had to pivot. I've had to do things, differently and move along with this big business while keeping those traditions alive that I learned. Because those traditions of craft cannabis, I'll repeat it, are who I am and what I do. And that is my legacy.
So as far as A was for accomplishments, what accomplishments are you most proud of that you've got? Obviously the cups are awesome, right? Winning those.
Yeah,
what else?
My longevity, I feel, that I've accomplished a lot just being here. I started growing in 1993. Coming up from those days, winning the awards, it's been a dream come true for me. I've helped fight for legalization. I helped fight in the medical days. I gave away a lot of free medicine. But it was pretty big for me as to winning those awards, though. Especially, there was another one that I won in Denver in 2015. It was a CBD award. And during that time, that's when everybody was coming, patients and mothers were taking their children with epilepsy to live in Colorado because they could get their medicine. And I had a special strain named after my wife called the Nubia, bred by Mean Gene from Mendocino. And we took it to Denver in 2015 and won second place U.S. Cup in the CBD category.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
But my biggest achievement right now, I would say, is to be able to be in this business right now, going against these big businesses while keeping the traditions of my elders alive. Keeping this craft, the art of craft cannabis alive. Those morals, integrity, and passion again, like I say, they mean everything to me. I really respect my elders.
Yeah. It's funny that the staying alive has been the most common answer we've gotten.
Yeah.
Is that, so many people are like, man, one of my biggest accomplishments is I'm here.
I'm here. I'm saying, yeah,
here,
yeah.
having a conversation with me, and
It's
I'm
true.
not doing
It's true.
some other job.
It's true.
down the road.
I'm true. It's true.
That's,
You know.
Yeah, that says a lot, man. What does the cannabis community mean to you?
Cannabis community means to me, it means a lot to me. Cannabis community is a group of people, a lot of people like to say like-minded, that appreciate cannabis and keep cannabis at a high standards while trying to make cannabis more accepted socially. That's what I think cannabis community is. I think it's a great group of people that work hard to make cannabis special in this society.
Yeah.
We deal with a lot, and when you have a cannabis community that works together, that vibes together, and we can do great things together. We can make this more socially accepted. And it's happening. It's really happening right now.
Yeah, and it's funny for me because we, as an event company, we've always looked at like what really got me passionate about this in the beginning was, we used to, the way that we would be a community is I'd go to your house and me and you both
Yeah.
were a community for a minute.
Yeah.
And then that was it. Maybe
Yep.
you had some friends over, maybe we had 5 people,
Yep,
but
yep,
it was
yep.
these smaller things and we were never allowed to get together in large groups and represent ourselves as a community. And we're so filled with all these divisive things now. You can't hang out with him because he, whether it's politics or all these things that you stand on. But when everybody's at a growers cup, everybody comes together for cannabis. We're coming together over the plant.
You forget all that stuff.
Exactly. We remember we're just people.
We're just people.
Let's focus on the one thing we love instead of all these things that we want to recognize.
Now, that's one thing I love about the Oregon Growers Cup because that is what it does, and it attracts some of the best craft growers from Oregon.
Yeah.
And to be able to sit there and support one another is amazing.
It's cool.
It's amazing.
Yeah, and I've been amazed too.
It's our job now to gift that knowledge back to one another and to continue this. And like you said earlier, Oregon is the mecca.
Yeah.
Oregon is the mecca of craft cannabis in the world.
Yeah.
I truly believe
I agree.
that Oregon, it has the best craft cannabis worldwide.
And there's people that are going to say Cali. There's a lot of people that might say that, but Cali is so big and broken up that in Oregon, I think we can represent ourselves as one thing. In Cali, you almost have to say, well, what part of Cali are you talking about?
Yeah, exactly.
And we're small enough that we could be, we can't, and you're right, we've got that rich soil, not only in the ground, but
it's that mentality. Even when I was younger, growing underground in the San Joaquin Valley, we would pay extra to get our hands on some Oregon bud. Even today, they know. They might want to say otherwise, but they know that some of the best strains were bred here in Oregon. And a lot of the strains that they use today were made because of Oregon breeders. Started it.
Yeah. That's a little kept secret. Not everybody knows that. So the last one is why for you, where you're going to be a judge for the cup this year again.
Oh yeah.
Unless you tell me no.
Oh no.
But
Never.
you can't enter,
No.
so you can't do any of that.
Yeah.
But what are your current goals as far as Braveheart and cannabis? Where do you want to be in the next couple of years?
I want to continue to be right here. I want to continue to be right here growing craft cannabis. I want to continue to represent my elders and represent the state of Oregon and the craft farmers. My goal is never to get rich. My goal is to grow the best cannabis. My goal is to continue to do what I do for at least another 15 years because I love it. That's my goal. If I could do that, and I'll be happy.
Welcome to Rebel Roots Farms in Rogue River, Oregon. Here we craft cannabis products for all different types of people in all different varieties. Portable, convenient items such as vape pens and tinctures for those on the go, along with premium dabbables like live rosin and diamonds. Our infused Funny Honey can make any day a holiday, and our THC and CBD Rick Simpson oils are widely recognized for potency and effects. We focus on capturing the natural essences of the whole plant with full spectrum extractions and natural cannabis terpene infusions. State-of-the-art equipment and collaborations with industry leaders allow Rebel Roots Farms to stay at the forefront of cannabis innovation and processing. We hope you enjoy our products as much as we enjoy making them.